Nicole, and welcome to my channel with Desiree Nicole. I am she is me. So, I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a video. I've been busy, super busy, doing like UGC, K-beauty stuff outside of the YouTube industry, and more so on like short form media platforms like Instagram. But nonetheless, I'm gonna give you a bunch of updates in a different video, but for today's video, I'm gonna be focusing on teaching in South Korea as a black person, as a black woman. Yes. I've actually I've been dodging making this video because of how traumatizing it has been for me during this year. This has been a long year for me, to say the least. It's just a bunch of spiritual warfare after spiritual warfare. If you don't know, I'm a Christian, so I always tie everything into my faith. But yeah, it's been a rocky ride, and like part of me always wanted to say something about it, but I was just like, I don't know. But then recently, the conversation of, oh, you should really make a YouTube video, like this happened on 3 different occasions from like strangers. So needless to say, I'm here to follow suit because God has guided me to do so. And then someone, I kid you not, someone commented on one of my posts maybe a week ago, depending on how long I wait to post this. I'm going to post this immediately. But yeah, someone was like, can I make a video about like finding a hagwon in Korea as a black person? And I was just like, okay, Lord, I heard you loud and clear. This video is going to get out. So here we are. We're doing it. But anyways, yes, I'm Desiree. I'm an English teacher. I'm an English teacher in South Korea. I teach in Gyeonggi-do. Gyeonggi-do is like New Jersey. If you live in New York City, you know it's like an hour and 30 minutes away from Seoul. But yeah, I had to write down like 3 points because I tend to get off tangent. If you are a black person trying to teach in Korea, high key, I would tell you just to run. Go and enjoy South Korea as a tourist. That's it. I know the whole, there's a bunch of pros to it. Like you get your own apartment for the most part. I have a roommate now. I'm going to get into that. But yeah, you get your own apartment. People are able to save, and you get to live abroad. That's very bougie, you know. But unfortunately, we're always going to face some type of discrimination, some type of racism. And most of the time, it's not even from Korean people. Most of the time, it's from your colleagues at work. It's from other expats. Yeah. But before I dive into that, I want to talk about COVID. So prior to coming to Korea that full year to teach English, I came to Korea in 2019-ish, before COVID, literally a couple of months before COVID started. I came to Korea. I was here for 3 months in Busan on a visa tourist. I was like, oh my gosh, I love Korea. I've always had it deep down in me. Like God gave me the promise as a teenager, like 15 or 16, that I would be teaching in South Korea. I used to listen to a lot of K-pop, so I was just like, I'm going to the land of K-pop. But then I decided to transfer universities, and then your girl got kicked out of one school because of bad grades, because I was like hustle, but not really putting focus into her schoolwork type of thing. And yeah, I eventually graduated a little later than I would have intended to, but I'm so grateful that I did graduate late, because during those seasons, I was able to like mature and like appreciate who I am as an individual, because you've seen it. A lot of media in South Korea, they advertise plastic surgery, always like trying to upgrade your look like you're a cell phone. You don't need to upgrade anything. God made you to be who he wanted you to be. We're all made in the image of God, right? So yeah. Anyways, during COVID, I came back to Korea. I found a job through a recruiter. The recruiter that I worked with, I love them. Okay, love is strong, but they are kind people. Usually recruiters don't care about you. They want you to go for it with the interview, because when you go for it with the interview, they get paid. They want you to sign a contract. When you sign a contract, they get paid. When you physically come to Korea, they get paid. So they don't care. They just see dollar bills. Okay? So with the recruiter that I worked with, super kind people. I would work with them again if I wanted to teach again, but I'm done. I'm finished. And I don't know if you realize, but before going to Korea, I always typed in like Black in Korea, and then you'd see a whole bunch of Black women in Korea just sharing their experience. If you notice, being Black in Korea, like a lot of the people who worked as teachers, their videos are gone. You want to know why? Not videos are gone, but like their YouTube presence is gone because they moved. They went back home. Like 2 or 3 people I've met in person from like YouTube, they went home to go a different direction, because at the end of the day, teaching is exhausting, and because you look a certain way, it depends on how much they're going to give you. So yeah, anyways, when I arrived during COVID, again, first time moving in by myself, I was so excited. I was just like, this new like layer of independence is here, traveling. But again, COVID, they were kind of xenophobic in the beginning. They thought all foreigners came to Korea with Corona. And yeah, so some establishments, they wouldn't let us in. And yeah. Even during my first year teaching, I got threatened by my employer that they were gonna fire me basically 3 times because I went in no training, no nothing. They weren't too bad, the Hagwon, because there were other Black people with me. So, there's always layers to racism. When it comes to Black people, okay, Black, check, woman, check, but it's like, how dark are you, So I didn't get as much of the backlash versus my other coworker. I remember we got COVID at the same time, because I kind of had like a little small party, and one of my coworkers who was Korean, he came to the party with Corona, and he gave it to all of us, and we got COVID at the same time. She had asthma, so her symptoms were lasted a little longer than mine's, and the way the director just like kept harassing her, being super nasty towards her, and it got to the point when she had to like stay home after the 7-day period of like recovery. She was like, give me the doctor's number, I'm gonna call and curse him out, basically. So yeah, but anyways, during COVID, all the foreigners, we all experienced xenophobia, right? So after COVID like kind of went away, I moved back to America for 6 months. I thought I was done with Korea for good, but God was like, you gotta go back. I was just like, oh no, go back to Korea to teach at the same school. So they welcomed me with open arms. First red flag. When it was time for me to come back or just like talk to the director, I wanted at least 2.6 million won. Okay, 2.6 million won. I'll let you do the calculations. When I first started, my first year here, I got 2.2 million won. I was just like, I was content with the pay, because I'm like, it's my first time getting like a solid teaching job. But during that first year that I was here, I worked with a girl from the UK. She was white, super skinny. She fit the beauty standards. She was getting paid more. She didn't have a master's degree. Emphasis on she didn't have a master's degree. And her schedule was not full. It was not packed. Like, she would have 4 breaks in one day. And then it got to the point she realized what was going on. She's just like, oh, I'm going to ask the director if I can leave early. I'm going to act like I'm sick. And every time the director would be like, oh yeah, you can go home. Thank you. It wasn't until homegirl didn't renew her contract that the director was just like super nasty towards her, and it was only because she was losing out on money because the kids liked her because she was pretty, and that's pretty privilege for you, pretty white privilege. But yeah, but I'm saying this all to say I had another coworker who was black, master's degree. He was getting the same pay as me. And he had teaching experience. So I was just like, how is he getting paid the same wage, the same salary that I'm getting paid? And homegirl over here doesn't even have her master's degree. And she's getting paid more than him. And that's the thing. In the contract, they were just like, oh, don't discuss your salary. But all of us, we do it anyways. You do it anyways. But yeah, so first year, we're going to wrap it up. Okay, now the 6-month break, because the Lord told me to take a break. I'm thinking I'm done with Korea for good, but I was just like so down and out. I was kind of broke. Your girl was trying to start a press-on nail business on Etsy. I made 2 sales, and I was just like, Lord, I just spent all my savings, basically most of my savings on this business just for it to flop. And I remember vividly, I had a dream that I went back to the job, and it was just like, oh God, you want me to go back there? I wasn't bitter, but I just didn't want to be there. Not under that circumstance. But anyways, fast forward. I'm emailing the director, talking to her about like my expected pay. I wanted 2.6, and she was just like, oh no, we can't give you 2.6. What about 2.4? And then on top of that, she was just like, oh, and then you can stay at this current apartment that you're in with, it's a roommate. So it's like a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 other teachers. Honestly, I didn't mind that because the first apartment that I lived in, I bought all the furniture. I have an apartment tour of that apartment if you want to see. But I spent like $2,000 on all the furniture just for it to go to waste at the end. So I wasn't too mad about it. I was just like, oh, okay. It's okay. It's fine. I was okay until I found out 2 other Asian American women that I work with, they offered them an additional like 200,000 or 400,000 won to live in an apartment. I didn't get offered that. So not only am I not getting the salary that I asked for, but I'm also not getting a little stipend for being okay with this. So it's fine. Fine and dandy, right? Time goes on. My roommate and I kind of bump heads because I asked her to clean the general areas of the apartment, because my parents are from the South. I believe in Southern hospitality. So, clean up after yourself. If you have a guest over, clean up before they arrive, because people talk regardless. They talk regardless. But anyways, that became a whole thing. A really bad thing, because now that I'm back, everyone thinks I have the seniority complex where, oh, you can't tell me anything, which is kind of true to a degree. The first time I was here, I was very like, yes, ma'am. Not yes, ma'am, but like I was just saying yes to everything because I didn't want them to dangle like, oh, we can send you back home in your face. Whereas now I'm just like, I'm not going to let you talk to me crazy. I'm not going to let you talk to me crazy. I'm not going to let you disrespect me when I've been respectful towards you, type of thing. So after I had a conversation with her, just things started spreading. And now that I'm the only Black teacher, because I spoke up in a respectful manner, mind you, I started receiving all these microaggressions from all of my coworkers, mostly the foreign expats. Okay, it's Desiree's the angry Black woman. She's too confrontational. She's too I'm sorry, but social media, everyone is like, oh, boundaries are good. I speak to people firmly and not in a rude way. It's just like, hey, can you do this for me? Or can you do this? Or blah, 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 blah. I don't understand how it got lost in translation that speaking up for yourself equates to angry Black woman. Because I'm like, if rules were reversed, you'd be like, oh, she's just being such and such. But anyways, I'm getting off tangent. I personally do not have any positive advice for you if you want to teach in Korea, because there's just so much going on. And I found out that a mutual that I met on Bumble BFF, she's also Black. She did one of those street interviews. She too experienced the same things that I've experienced. And basically, we want more money, and they refuse to give us more money, but they want our work ethic to be above and beyond. And it's something that I don't agree with, because you have people who are lazy at the workplace who don't do anything. And here's the thing too, with all the problems that I've been experiencing at my current hagwon and with my coworkers, I have one person who is a white man who always goes, I'm so sorry for what's going on, because I can only imagine how drained you are. He knows what's going on. So if someone that is a white man can tell me that he understands what I'm going through, even though he's white, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, how to formulate that into sentence. But there's been days where I wanted to do a midnight run. I hate to say it that way, but like, I have morals. I know I can't run from my problems, but needless to say, if you really want to teach in South Korea, I will leave the recruiter down in the description box that I used. They're really good. And they won't be like, oh, you want to go to Seoul? Let me send you to like a different province. They're not like that. They're really helpful. I know around this time, a lot of schools, hagwons, and just public schools in general are looking for teachers. So I'll help you out by giving you the information down below. But yeah, if you don't need to teach, I wouldn't tell you to. There's also a thing too with the children. It depends on where you're at. Where I'm at, I'm in Dongtan. A lot of the kids here are very entitled, middle class. It's middle class families. The kids are very entitled. They don't get disciplined at home, so they come into classrooms acting crazy. And when you do something slightly different to your hair, like braids per se, it's always, oh, teacher's a monster. There's a woman on Instagram, not on Instagram, on TikTok. She uploaded what her children said to her during Black History Month, and it was like, aren't you free? Aren't you happy that you're free? Aren't you happy you're not a how does it, no, there was like, aren't you happy that you're free? And then someone called her the N word with the hard R. So needless to say, don't do it to yourself. Just travel. Do the tourist visa. I get it, you want to make some money while you travel into like nearby countries, but honestly, mentally, don't do it. My younger self, like in my early 20s, I wouldn't even care to like deal with this types of stuff. But it's just like, come on, we're all human at the end of the day. We all need to be nice to each other. It doesn't make any type of sense why there's always some type of a struggle that we have to go through. And I think that was my main thing too. A lot of these people, before they started, oh, she's an angry Black woman, they've hung out with me outside of work. They've encountered me. They see how I am. So for them to like assume that I'm this stereotype, this microaggression, is ludicrous. And during the whole situation with my roommate, I told my director about it. My director knew me longer than she knew her. She proceeded to be like, oh, well, no one's perfect. I was like, bruh. So needless to say, I'm counting down my days until I leave. I have like 92-ish days until I leave Korea. Now, let me say, don't get me wrong. I love Korea. But as a tourist, yes, as a tourist. Also, I wanted to emphasize this. I forgot to. But during COVID, when all the foreigners were facing xenophobia, we were all banding together in that sense. But I realized now that COVID is gone, only Black people are facing it. And I know there's like groups on Facebook with people who are saying like, oh no, it's okay. Like, I've never experienced that. Sometimes in a group of black people, you got the Oprahs, you got the Tyler Perrys, and you got the Issa Raes. Don't listen to the Oprahs. They may have money, but they choose to be blind. They choose to be blind. And you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But needless to say, yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you. And yeah, remember, run. I wish I was joking, but I don't blame this one. I don't want this for anyone. I really don't. But anyways, bye. Thank you for tuning in.